One battle after another is a new crime thriller movie that came out this past weekend. It's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. You know Paul Thomas Anderson at this point. I mean, come on. Magnolia, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood. If you haven't watched There Will Be Blood, my God. An incredible cast that's been put together for it. You've got Leonardo DiCaprio, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Chase Infinity, who I think this is like the second movie she's ever done. Woody Harris also shows up in this movie. So the story follows Leonardo DiCaprio's character Bob. Bob is a washed-up revolutionary that has been living off the grid with his spirited and rebellious teenage daughter. But after a nemesis reemerges from his past to hunt him and his daughter, and then his daughter disappears, Bob has to spring back into action as a revolutionary, as a father, try to hunt for his daughter and protect her, and the father and the daughter have to kind of reconcile with the demons from the past, so to speak. And that is the story and the setup for this movie. Paul Thomas Anderson, not to be confused with the other Anderson that is also running around Hollywood still making movies. Even though he's certainly an acquired taste, I mean, hell, there are some of his movies that I don't really vibe with or connect with. I still think regardless of how you feel, you gotta acknowledge this man as one of the GOATs. One of the GOATs of all time. One of the GOATs of his era. Just call him goated. I don't know. And I loved the cast, and I really was intrigued to see what the story was about. And I gotta say, holy fucking shit are the only words to describe what I saw. Holy fucking shit doesn't even really do it justice. Like, this is one of those type of movies. It's a great movie that feels relevant and timely while also feeling timeless. Like, it's got a classic feel to it. This movie never stops. This movie has some of the best pacing that I've seen for a near 3-hour movie, maybe that I've seen in my life. This movie has an exhilarating breakneck pace. It just keeps going and going and going. There's never a dull moment, and I was engaged from beginning to end. The film is filled with frenetic and kinetic and frantic energy. It's a type of movie where every scene constantly builds and adds to the next one. The way that this movie flows is like a river, or, you know, like Kendrick Lamar over jazz sample beats. But it's not just the editing, it's not just the pacing, it's not just the cinematography, all that. The direction here is also impeccable. It's also God tier. The way that Paul Thomas Anderson uses the camera in this movie, my God, it's some of the best you'll see all year. There's so many different angles and so many different lenses that he uses. He has these long lenses that he tries to use for his shots. There's some long tracking shots and some beautiful wide takes. There is also some really interesting zooms and a little bit of shaky cam in the right moments. Like, he is just in his bag, deep in his bag. Like, we can't even call it a regular bag. It's got to be a duffel or Gucci, Prada. Like, just pick one of those. It's a beautiful looking bag. The camera work in this movie combined with the editing really adds to the chaotic nature of the story and really adds to the urgency of everything that's happening. That's why I said there's never a dull moment. If I had a word to describe the score in this movie, I would say busy. Busy's probably the word I'd use. It's busy in the sense that it feels like there's a lot going on with the score, but it feels beautiful at the same time. It adds to the thrill of the movie. There's a lot of great violin work, a shit ton of great piano work in this movie. Whoever was operating the keys for this musical score in this movie, the piano, like, bro, it's Beethoven level. Okay, that's a little bit hyperbole. Beethoven, we probably shouldn't invoke Beethoven on this channel unless we're talking about the dog and how amazing St. Bernards are. If St. Bernard Beethoven heard this score, come on, he'd love that shit too. Like, no matter what you feel about a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, you always gotta know that the performances are gonna be some of the best performances that you've seen in a movie that year. This movie is absolutely no exception. Leo DiCaprio, similar to Denzel Washington. What can I say about Leo that has not already been said before? Seeing him jump into action and seeing the journey his character goes on, that's really compelling stuff. Teyana Taylor is a firecracker in this movie. She makes full use of her scenes to present one of the more compelling characters in the entire film, and her performance is on point as well. Normally, I could take like half the video and just talk about how ridiculously, absurdly, transcendently fine this woman is, but, you know, I'll probably save that for another video. Benicio del Toro is one of the standout characters. I feel like a lot of people are going to walk out of this movie loving him. He has some of the funniest moments in the movie, but he's also just one of the realest people in the movie. You love Benicio in this movie. The only thing I'll say about Sean Penn is that Sean Penn is disgusting, and he's evil, and he's pathetic, and he is a very compelling villain in this movie in his own right, and it is one of the better performances I've seen this year for sure. Regina Hall does great work here too. Like, everybody's doing great work. Chase Infinity, holy shit, a star has been born. She was incredible incredible in this film. It has some things that it's trying to say about our current climate, and politically it definitely has some things on its mind. It's also a movie that's kind of like a dark comedy, and it kind of feels like a satire at times as well, like it's making fun of a lot of things. There are heavy themes in this movie about freedom and about revolution and about sacrifice. Also a ton to say in this movie about tyranny and about immigration and fascism. Like, there is a lot to unpack in this movie. It's not just your run-of-the-mill thriller type of movie. There is a chase sequence that happens on a highway at the end of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but the way that it's shot, the way that it goes, holy fucking shit. Like I said, it's the only way to say it. Some smaller nitpicks with this movie. One is one where I have to talk about it without spoiling it, which is a really difficult thing to do in this specific context. Teyana Taylor's character, she plays a character named Perfidia in this movie. I'll just say I don't really care for the direction they took with her character. Her character goes from being one of the most compelling, interesting things about the movie to kind of being used and discarded for the sake of the plot. Like, she goes from a character to a plot device, and I wasn't really feeling that. Unfortunately, I have seen that happen to black women in other movies before, and it's kind of a frustrating thing with me. It's probably just a personal thing with me. That's not to say that the movie doesn't have a lot of importance and agency for the black women in the movie. I will say probably my biggest issue with the film is with Willa, her character, and the way that they try to tie things together at the end of the movie feels a little bit sloppy to me. We don't get a fully expanded worldview of Willa, like a lot of things involving her and the past and her mother and stuff like that. It feels kind of surface level. Certain moments at the end of the movie, it kind of doesn't land as well as it could have because we're not given the full context to certain things. I'd say 98% of the movie is firing on all cylinders. It is immaculately directed and shot and acted and scored. I've seen some people say it's one of the best movies of the decade. Not gonna argue with you there. One battle after another was one banger scene after another. It absolutely belongs with the highest grade on my channel, Superman Prime. What did you think about it, and what are your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movies? Go ahead and put that in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel. Stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.